Game week, finally here, obviously. Exciting for our team and our coaches. I know our fans are excited. We're really looking forward to a great opening challenge with Utah State and, the challenges that they pose. This is Gary's third year, and he's done a really nice job, building the program just the way he wants it. And offensively, they've got a lot of returning starters. Going to be a challenge for our defense. Everything starts with the offensive line, as we know, and so they've got some veteran guys up front, which is going to be challenging for our young defensive line, as we know. It'll be a good first challenge for them. And got a running back coming back that had a great year 2 years ago. Is now healthy and he's back in the mix. So that's going to be a great challenge for us. They got we're anticipating preparing for a 2-quarterback system type situation right now with 2 different types of body types potentially playing at quarterback. So that'll be a challenge for us as well. So we got to be ready on that front. Defensively, it appears that they're jumping in and out of a three-man front and 4-man front defense, which those are challenges as well, starting with our offensive line, just schematically. That poses some challenges for us there. So they're doing some things defensively. They got a couple of really good players, on their defense, starting at, inside linebacker, 2 really good football players there for sure. They don't have as many returning starting guys with experience defensively as they do offensively. But they've got a lot of good players on their defense. So schematically, that'll be a challenge, as we know that. And again, their kicking game, they've got some challenges for us there. They've got a kick returner, Kerwin Williams, that is probably averaging somewhere between 26 and 27 yards a kickoff return. So he set numerous records, there as well. So very solid football team. Again, a great challenge for our very young team, going into the first game. But we're excited that it's here. We've had a really good fall camp. I'm sure that you guys have seen the 2 deep now and what we've come up with. But again, it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think we counted up, we're going to probably have anywhere between 25 and 30 players playing Saturday that have never played in a college game, which ought to get extremely interesting. But again, we're going to have a lot of fun with it. They've worked really hard. They want to be really good. It'll be fast moving for them, but the game will eventually slow down for our young guys. And again, we're looking for a big performance from our whole football team. So that being said, we'll open it up to any questions. The plan is to really play the guys that we think deserve to play. Whether it be early in the game or late in the game, whatever the situation calls for, the guys that have worked hard enough and deserve to play and have really earned our trust to play, we're going to put them in whenever, whenever we feel like the situation is right. So we're not holding anything back. You're going to see them on the opening kickoff. You're going to see them on, the opening kickoff return, depending on which one we do. You're going to see them throughout the offense and the defense. That's just where we're at. So, although, at this point, coaches get very reluctant to just put them in right at the beginning of a game. We're going to have to get past our reluctancy to do that and do it. That's just where we're at. Look at it, before we gave out the scholarships to some of the walk-ons, a couple of weeks ago, we're really playing with somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 scholarships. So it's all hands on deck. So I mean, in terms of the participation chart, it's going to be there's going to be quite a few. And again, as I said, a good number of those guys are going to be, freshmen or redshirt freshmen. And then, if you look beyond that, you've got a lot of guys that we're considering veterans, but they really haven't played much either. So it's everybody's got to participate. It's going to be, on offense, defense, and particularly special teams. It's going to be, team by committee. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be. So. But again, we got to get past any reluctancy that we have to do it, and we got to put them in the game and let them play. I'm excited for Barrett Trotter. I'm just telling you, I'm excited for him. I just got a lot of confidence that, he's going to go in there and be very poised. I really do. I feel like he's going to be very poised. That he's very prepared. We still have a week left. I mean, this is really practice number 1, game week. You know what I mean? But I'm excited for him, and I think he's going to be. I think he'll be excited, but again, I think he's going to show a lot of poise. I think he's going to show a lot of confidence. He's got a great grasp of the offense and what the plan is already. So I think it's going to be a great day for Bear. And again, you know, we're going to go in and we're going to evaluate. When we get done with game one, we're going to see where we're going for game two. So, you know, there's a lot of, there's a lot of positions out there that, we're anxious to see, how they prepare and how they play in front of 90,000. But again, I'm excited about for Bear. We talked about it briefly, and really my words are simply this: you're Bear Trotter. Don't try to be somebody else. He doesn't need to try to be Cam Newton. He doesn't need to try to be, Chris Todd or Jason Campbell, or he needs to be Bear Trotter. And really and truly, that's about the length of the discussion. And I think he understands it. They all know that. I wouldn't read anything into that at all. You know how we run our offense, and Michael and Ontario, and you're going to see a lot of some of the freshmen in there. You're going to see Anthony Morgan in there. So you're going to see it. Again, you're going to see a lot of faces and names at tailback as well. So I wouldn't read anything into that. That's part of that is going to be part of the journey that we're going to be on. It's really challenging when you take a true freshman and you put him at center in this league. I mean, that's really going to be very interesting. But Reese is extremely intelligent as a football player. I still feel like this is going to be a great learning experience. I think it's going to be a great first game for Reese, simply because he's gone against our guys in practice every day, kind of has an idea what that's like. But now all of a sudden we're going to ramp it up a notch when we get to game day. Against some very big physical, defensive players, especially now when you're looking at potentially getting head-up nose guards on you, and no shade on there, where you potentially might not get a lot of help from a guard. So Reese has got some challenges, but again, I think physically, the more games he plays, you're going to see him get better and better and better. That's how I feel, and I feel fairly, very confident in that. And in all the calls he's got to make. Again, in a game like this where, could be a little bit of a 3 down front, could be a 4 down front, there'll be some challenges for him in there too, but have, very, very, we feel very confident in his ability. Chad has gotten better and better and better. He's gotten better and better all through camp. There's no question about that. Has he arrived? No, but we feel confident that he can protect the edge and he can be a physical run blocker. He's 300+ pounds. He's dropped some weight since he came here last year. His eyes will be big on the first day too, but that's okay. He'll get used to it, and then the game will slow down for him as well. Travante's been a guy that he's kind of old steady. He's the guy that he's a very savvy football player. He understands coverages. He understands where he's supposed to be, when he's supposed to be there. And at wide receiver, as trying to find holes in the defense, that becomes a huge part of your game. He was limited, obviously, when he hurt his knee. It's been a journey for him getting back. And so really proud to see that he's come on so well in camp. Again, physically, I think he's close to being where he was, before he got hurt. Mentally, we know, again, that he's a very savvy football player. So been very impressed with him. Again, we're looking forward to seeing him play and looking forward to some big things out of him. I mean, really, I'm really proud of, I'm going to use the word older guys. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but, if you just start offensively, and, I hesitate to do this because I'll usually leave somebody out that I shouldn't, but, the Philip Lutzenkirkens, Ontario's, Emory Blake's, Brandon Mosley, even though he's been here only a year, guys that have really been in there and played a lot and contributed significantly to what we're doing. They've been phenomenal. The young guys on defense that are considered to be vets, if you will. Like I mentioned, the Darren Bates and the Nico Thorpes and the, even our young defensive linemen. You look out there and you think, Corey Lemonnier and Jeff Whitaker and Kenneth Carter and Nosa are our veterans, but they got 3 years left. So, but they've all really, they've really played a great role. They really have. They've really tried to take the young guys under their wings and really try to impart, really good wisdom both on and off the field, which has really been good. But you know, again, a lot of those guys, you know, they're still working every day to become, you know, a better football player themselves. I think, you know, this day and age, it certainly has changed. I mean, you know, there's no question that there's more young guys playing. You know, I just think that, you know, when teammates feel like there's young guys that come in, that can come in and have an opportunity to help them win a championship, I just feel like they're really, really embraced. And provided that they come in with some humility, which this day and age sometimes is really hard for them to do because of how much they hear about themselves in recruiting now. If they come in with a great deal of humility and just go to work, I think the guys really embrace them. And so I think a lot of it is to the degree in which they come in. You know, and what I found is certainly with this group that we have, with the 25 guys that we brought in, they came in with a lot of humility, even though they were highly recruited. I think they understood once they got here that all that goes away, and they're just the low guy on the totem pole, and they got to work to you know, to have a job. So, but I think overall, I think people embrace them more because more young guys are playing, and they give you an opportunity to help, you know, help the older guys win a championship. Mike Blakely is not going to be eligible, so he's going to be redshirted this year. He's doing a great job for us on our scout teams. Phenomenal attitude, doing great in school. Couldn't be more proud of him, but this is going to be a redshirt year for him. I would love to see him play, you know, obviously for a lot of reasons. He's certainly talented enough to play right now, and based on what I've seen, you know. But I know he wanted to play, so it's disappointing for him, I think. But he's handled it great, and you know, he's going to have a great year this year, helping us win. We're probably right where we thought we would be, to be honest with you. You know, we still have a week left to go. I mean, we still have a week of preparation, which is really good. But overall, I would say that we're certainly not disappointed. We've made a lot of strides probably in the last 10 days or so, in my opinion. So we're you know, just about where we need to be and where we thought we would be. Again, understanding that we still need a whole nother week of work to be prepared to play in this game Saturday. Well, if you're asking my opinion, you know, we don't talk about pressure either. You know, we just talk about day by day trying to get better at what we do. That's as coaches and players. There's always pressure when you're in the SEC, and there's always pressure when you're at a place like Auburn, because the expectation of everybody is for you to win. And that expectation is true from our equipment managers and trainers, student trainers, student managers, all the way up to me and our athletic director. So, you know, those expectations are there. You know, it comes with the territory, the pressure that's on. It's probably more internally from each guy individually, you know, and what he expects himself to do than anybody. So, you know, as a whole, we don't really talk about that. We don't talk about expectations in terms of what everybody else's expectation is. We only talk about expectations in terms of what ours are. And so that's really, it's really kind of non-applicable to us in a way.